Hello and welcome back. It's day 3 of my Vancouver Island packrafting adventure. It started out with a bit of an adventure. Last night I stayed at my parents' house in Shawnigan Lake, and in the morning the first order of business was to paddle across the lake, and it was very windy. I had a headwind. I would guess it was about 15 to 20 knots. There were whitecaps and spray blowing into the boat. It got a bit wet, but I made it across. I still managed to average 3.3 kilometers an hour going across the lake into the wind, so I was pretty pleased about that. And then once I got across the lake, I had to paddle another couple of kilometers, and I managed to find a little shelter here and there, so it wasn't quite so difficult and the waves weren't as big. I took out at a little public access, hidden between two houses. Then I had a short road walk back to the trail. The trail was quite busy this morning. There's a very famous railway trestle that I was walking over, and it was quite busy. There were probably 30 cars in the nearest parking lot. But it's been a nice day so far, a mix of sun and cloud. It's kind of cloudy now, a little bit of blue sky. It's a nice temperature for walking. Ever since I finished my exciting paddle this morning, the day has been not boring necessarily, but just a lot of the same. The trail is a repurposed railway grade, so it's fairly flat. Corners are very gradual. Some sections are very straight. So it's not the most exciting trail, but it makes it easy to cover ground with a fresh resupply and 5 days worth of food. My pack is a lot heavier today than it was yesterday. It's also nice because I don't have to go far to find water. Every few kilometers there's a stream crossing or a pond. And I'm also not having to work so hard today. It's not as hot, and there's a good breeze that is keeping me cool. And I'd say 80 or 90% of the time I'm in the shade. My feet are a bit sore just from all the walking, and my back is getting used to this heavier load. But I'm much more relaxed now than I was on day 1. Leading up to the trip, there were so many things to consider and take care of and make sure that I didn't forget. And I was really worried about injuring myself in the months and weeks and days leading up to the trip. But now that I'm on the move, it's very simple. I just have to be careful and listen to my body, pay attention to my surroundings, and avoid any unnecessary risks. So I am hiking along. It's after 8:30 p.m. on day 3, and I'm looking for a place to camp. Finding a safe spot to sleep is proving difficult. The forest here is, it's not old growth, it has been logged. There are some very old stumps, maybe it was logged 100 years ago. I'd say the average tree here is 150 feet tall, 50 meters. And that means it's pretty well impossible to find a spot that is not in striking distance of a falling tree. And there are lots of dead ones, and there is wind. So I am continuing to walk, and I will continue to do so until I either am too tired to go on or I find a safe spot.